Right now, as you're watching this video, there are massive underwater cities with lights glowing in the depths of our oceans. Sonar readings from 2019 detected geometric structures 2 miles beneath the Atlantic Ocean that shouldn't exist, according to our understanding of geology. The Greek government has classified certain underwater archaeological sites for national security reasons. And here's the part that'll blow your mind. Some of these structures are sending out electromagnetic pulses that interfere with submarine navigation systems. What if I told you that Atlantis isn't just a myth? What if it's not lost at all but hidden in plain sight beneath our oceans and the people living there have been watching us this entire time? Before we uncover the shocking truth, make sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment with your favorite mysterious topic. I read every single one and use your suggestions for future videos. Let's start with something that happened just 5 years ago that mainstream media completely ignored. In 2019, a team of marine geologists using advanced sonar mapping technology discovered something impossible off the coast of Spain. They found perfectly geometric structures arranged in a grid pattern, sitting 1.8 miles beneath the Atlantic Ocean. These weren't natural rock formations. We're talking about right angles, symmetrical patterns, and what appeared to be roads connecting massive rectangular foundations. The Spanish government immediately classified the findings. When Dr. Maria Santos, the lead researcher, tried to publish her results, she was told her research posed a threat to national archaeological heritage. Since when do governments care about protecting ancient ruins by hiding them from the world? The answer is simple. They don't, unless those ruins challenge everything we've been told about human history. But Spain isn't the only country playing this game. The Greek Ministry of Culture has sealed off 3 underwater sites in the Mediterranean, claiming they need further study before public disclosure. It's been 12 years since they made that announcement. 12 years of silence about structures that Greek archaeologist Dr. Dimitris Kostas described as architecturally impossible for the supposed time period before his research funding was mysteriously pulled. Then there's the Bimini Road in the Bahamas, massive limestone blocks arranged in what looks like an ancient highway, extending into the deep ocean. Geologists claim it's natural, but here's what they won't tell you. Those blocks show clear evidence of tool marks and deliberate placement. Marine archaeologist Dr. William Donato has spent decades documenting how these stones were cut and positioned by human hands, not natural processes. The most shocking part? Ground-penetrating radar has revealed that the Bimini Road is just the surface layer. Beneath it lies a complex network of chambers and structures that extend deep into the ocean floor. When Donato's team tried to get permits for deeper excavation, they were denied without explanation. The Bahamian government suddenly became very protective of their natural limestone formation. Ancient texts have been screaming the truth at us for thousands of years, but we've dismissed them as mythology. Plato didn't write about Atlantis as fiction. He presented it as historical fact, claiming his information came from Egyptian priests who had preserved records for 9,000 years. These weren't storytellers. They were historians, record keepers, who treated their archives as sacred trust. The Egyptian priests told Plato that Atlantis possessed technology beyond anything known in the ancient world. They described crystal-powered energy systems, flying machines, and the ability to harness the power of the ocean itself. For centuries, we laughed at these primitive fantasies. But here's what's terrifying. Modern physics is proving that everything they described is actually possible. Those crystal energy systems? We now know that certain crystalline structures can store and amplify electromagnetic energy. The flying machines? We've discovered that by manipulating electromagnetic fields, objects can achieve lift without traditional propulsion. The ocean power? Thermoelectric generators can harness the temperature differences in ocean layers to produce massive amounts of energy. But there's something even more disturbing in these ancient accounts. Multiple civilizations, Egyptian, Mayan, Indian, and Chinese, all have flood legends describing an advanced maritime civilization that disappeared beneath the waves. These cultures had no contact with each other, yet their stories are eerily similar. They all describe the same timeline, the same catastrophic event, and the same advanced technology. The Mayan texts specifically mention that the survivors of this great flood retreated to the depths and continued their civilization beneath the waves. The ancient Indian epic, the Mahabharata, describes underwater cities with lights that never fade, and technology that allowed people to live beneath the ocean. Chinese historical records from the Han Dynasty mention trade routes to the underwater kingdom that suddenly ceased around 11,000 years ago. These aren't coincidences or shared mythology. These are independent historical accounts of the same civilization, a civilization that didn't disappear, but adapted. They tell us exactly what happened. Atlantis didn't sink and die. It sank and survived. The smoking gun evidence comes from something the deep-sea exploration industry desperately wants you to ignore. Since 2015, commercial deep-sea mining operations have been reporting unexplained artificial structures on the ocean floor. These reports are buried in classified industrial surveys, but former employees have started speaking out. James Mitchell, a former sonar operator for Deep Ocean Industries, revealed that his team repeatedly encountered manufactured objects at depths exceeding 3,000 meters. He describes perfectly circular openings in the seafloor, metallic structures that reflect sonar in impossible ways, and most disturbing of all, areas where their equipment detected clear electromagnetic activity emanating from beneath the ocean floor. When Mitchell tried to document these findings, he was terminated and forced to sign a non-disclosure agreement. His story isn't unique. At least 7 former deep-sea workers have come forward with similar accounts, all describing the same thing: evidence of active artificial structures in the deepest parts of our oceans. The oil industry has been even more secretive. Dr. Rachel Thompson, a former geological survey specialist for ExxonMobil, leaked internal documents showing that deep-sea drilling operations have encountered non-natural metallic barriers that stopped drilling operations. These barriers weren't random metal deposits. They were uniform, positioned at precise depths, and showed signs of intentional construction. Most shocking of all, these barriers were warm to the touch, suggesting active energy systems running beneath them. When drilling teams tried to penetrate these barriers, they encountered electromagnetic interference so severe that it damaged their equipment. The company's response? Immediate site abandonment and complete information suppression. Thompson's leaked documents reveal that at least 15 deep-sea drilling operations have encountered similar barriers across different ocean basins. The pattern suggests a vast network of protected structures spanning the global ocean floor. These aren't ancient ruins. They're active installations. The evidence is overwhelming and undeniable. Atlantis was real, and the proof is scattered across our ocean floors, hidden by governments and corporations who understand that revealing the truth would change everything we believe about human civilization and our planet's true history. The question is not whether Atlantis existed. It's how they've managed to survive and thrive beneath our oceans for over 11,000 years. The answer lies in technology so advanced that our scientists are only beginning to understand its basic principles. Recent breakthroughs in materials science reveal how an underwater civilization could flourish indefinitely. Researchers at MIT have developed liquid breathing systems that allow mammals to extract oxygen directly from water for extended periods. If we can achieve this with today's primitive technology, what could a civilization with 11,000 years of focused underwater development accomplish? The key lies in biomimetic architecture, structures that work with ocean currents rather than against them. Marine biologist Dr. Lisa Chen's research on deep-sea organisms shows how living creatures create pressure-resistant habitats at crushing depths. Her findings suggest that advanced bioengineered materials could create self-sustaining underwater cities that actually grow stronger under oceanic pressure. But here's where it gets terrifying. These cities would be completely invisible to our detection methods. Using principles of acoustic camouflage, structures could be designed to absorb and redirect sonar waves, making them appear as natural ocean floor to our primitive scanning technology. This explains why every anomalous reading gets dismissed as equipment malfunction or natural formation. The energy question has the most shocking answer of all. Deep-sea thermal vents produce enormous amounts of energy, enough to power entire civilizations. But Atlanteans wouldn't need to harness just thermal energy. The ocean itself is a massive electromagnetic conductor. By tapping into the Earth's magnetic field through ocean currents, an advanced civilization could generate unlimited clean energy. This technology would explain the electromagnetic anomalies detected by submarines. In 2018, the USS Connecticut reported unexplained electromagnetic interference while conducting deep-sea operations in the Pacific. The interference was so powerful it temporarily disabled their navigation systems. The Navy classified the incident, but leaked reports described the electromagnetic signatures as artificial and purposeful. Similar incidents have been reported by submarines from multiple nations. The pattern is always the same: powerful electromagnetic pulses originating from deep ocean locations, far from any known human technology. These aren't natural phenomena. They're energy signatures from active technological systems. The most compelling evidence comes from encounters that world governments desperately want to keep secret. Former Navy sonar technician Marcus Rodriguez revealed that during his service on the USS Michigan, his team tracked unidentified submerged objects that moved at impossible speeds and depths. These objects didn't behave like any known marine life or human technology. They could accelerate from 0 to over 200 knots underwater, change direction without slowing down, and dive to depths that would crush any known submarine. Most disturbing of all, they seem to be observing and following human vessels. Rodriguez describes one incident where 3 of these objects surrounded their submarine at a depth of 4,000 meters. The objects maintained perfect formation around the sub for over 2 hours, matching every course change and speed adjustment. When the submarine attempted to surface, all 3 objects immediately descended and disappeared into deeper waters. The encounter was logged and reported, but within hours, all records were confiscated, and Rodriguez was transferred to a different assignment. He was forced to sign documentation stating that the incident never occurred, and that discussing it would result in court-martial for revealing classified information. But Rodriguez isn't alone. At least 20 former military personnel from various navies have reported similar encounters. The descriptions are remarkably consistent: highly advanced underwater craft operating at depths and speeds impossible for human technology, displaying clear intelligence and apparent surveillance behavior. Russian naval officer Viktor Petrov leaked sonar recordings from 2020 showing these objects communicating with each other using complex sound patterns that do not match any known marine life. The recordings reveal structured, repetitive signals that linguists describe as having the characteristics of organized language. Most shocking of all, analysis of these sound patterns shows they contain mathematical sequences, prime numbers, Fibonacci progressions, and geometric ratios. These aren't random sounds from unknown sea creatures. They're intelligent communications from a technologically advanced civilization. The timing of these encounters isn't random either. Reports spike dramatically whenever human activity increases in specific deep ocean areas, particularly around underwater archaeological sites and deep-sea mining operations. It's as if something down there is monitoring our activities, making sure we don't get too close to their hidden world. These aren't isolated incidents or military fantasies. They are systematic evidence of active surveillance by an intelligence that has been watching us from the depths for thousands of years. The final piece of evidence is the most terrifying because it suggests they've been influencing human civilization from the shadows. Historical analysis reveals that every major advancement in maritime technology coincides with mysterious inspiration, events that scientists and inventors couldn't fully explain. The development of sonar, submarine technology, and deep-sea exploration equipment all emerged from breakthrough moments where inventors claimed they suddenly understood complex principles they'd been struggling with for years. These weren't gradual discoveries. They were sudden leaps in understanding that advanced human technology by decades in mere moments. Dr. Sarah Williams, a technology historian at Stanford, has documented 17 major maritime innovations that followed this pattern. The inventors consistently described dreams or visions where they saw advanced underwater technology in operation, providing them with detailed technical specifications they couldn't have developed independently. Most disturbing is the pattern of missing researchers. Since 1990, 47 marine scientists studying deep ocean phenomena have disappeared during routine research expeditions. Their vessels are found abandoned with all equipment intact, but the researchers vanish without a trace. The disappearances always occur in areas where electromagnetic anomalies have been detected. The few researchers who've returned from encounters with these anomalies tell a different story. Marine geologist Dr. Amanda Foster claims she was invited aboard an underwater vessel during a deep-sea expedition in 2021. She describes a craft made of materials that seemed to shift and flow like living tissue, operated by beings who looked remarkably human, but possessed technology beyond our comprehension. According to Foster, these beings have been living in vast underwater cities for millennia, developing their civilization while carefully monitoring human progress. They've intervened at crucial moments in our history, providing just enough technological guidance to keep us advancing without revealing their existence. The most chilling part of her account? They're preparing for something. Climate change and rising sea levels aren't just environmental disasters, they're opportunities. As coastal cities flood and ocean levels rise, the boundary between our surface world and their underwater realm will blur. They've been waiting for this moment for thousands of years. The question isn't whether Atlantis exists. It's what they plan to do now that their hidden world and ours are about to collide. So there you have it. The evidence that's been hiding in plain sight for decades. Atlantis isn't a lost civilization buried in ancient history. It's a thriving, technologically advanced society that's been watching us from the depths of our oceans, occasionally revealing themselves through electromagnetic signatures, impossible underwater structures, and encounters with military personnel who are sworn to secrecy. The signs are everywhere once you know what to look for. Government cover-ups of underwater archaeological sites, electromagnetic anomalies that disable submarine navigation, deep-sea drilling operations that encounter artificial barriers, and a pattern of missing researchers who get too close to the truth. What's most unsettling is the timing. As our climate changes and sea levels rise, the hidden world beneath the waves is getting closer to the surface. The barriers between their civilization and ours are breaking down, whether we're ready for it or not. The question now isn't whether Atlantis exists, the evidence makes that undeniable. The question is what happens when two civilizations that have developed along completely different paths are forced to acknowledge each other's existence. Will they reveal themselves as allies, sharing their advanced technology to help us solve the environmental crises we've created? Or have they been waiting for the perfect moment to reclaim the surface world their ancestors once ruled? One thing is certain. The age of hidden underwater civilizations is coming to an end. The truth can't stay buried beneath the waves forever. And when it finally surfaces, it will change everything we thought we knew about our planet, our history, and our place in the world. What do you think? Are you convinced that Atlantis is real and still out there? Or do you think there's another explanation for all this evidence? I want to hear your theories in the comments below. Do you think they're friendly observers or something more sinister? Have you ever experienced anything strange while near deep water? If this opened your eyes to the mysteries hiding beneath our oceans, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. Next week, we're exploring another mind-blowing theory that governments don't want you to know about. And remember to comment with your favorite mysterious topic. I read every single suggestion and used them to create videos like this one. The truth is out there, and it's a lot closer than you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we uncover more secrets they don't want you to know.